Hello my lovelies and welcome to the Powder Puff Girl. So today's product is the BEBODYWISE Ultralight Sunscreen. You guys have been requesting me for this. If you haven't noticed yet, my American trip has fallen flat. I had to come back to handle an emergency. Everything is fine, I'm working on it. So as soon as I came back, the two products that I purchased immediately were the BEBODYWISE Ultralight Sunscreen and the Plum Mineral Sunscreen. These are the two that I'm working on this month. So yeah, my review is for this. You will see this one next. I also got myself the Foxtail Brightening Body Lotion. Again, non-sponsored. All of these are non-sponsored. I just want to say thank you guys. You guys have been using my affiliate codes in all of the descriptions whenever you want to buy stuff, and that's the only reason I've been able to purchase so many products to make unsponsored, non-sponsored reviews for you guys. So yeah, just wanted to say thank you guys so much. So this is their latest launch. I've seen this on a couple of other influencers videos also saying that this is a really good product, and of course I decided to test it out myself. Right? This one does not have any old generation chemical filters. It doesn't have any mineral filters either. This relies entirely on new generation chemical filters. This has an SPF of 50 PA++++. That's 4 pluses. They say this has an ultralight feel and it blends in 3 seconds. Zero white cast. We'll test all of this out. It says it's non-greasy. I'll give you my opinion on that. It says it has gold standard in vivo SPF tested. Okay, so I have explained this in my minimalist fluid sunscreen video if I'm not wrong. There are basically two types of testing when it comes to these sunscreens: in vivo, in vitro. In vitro is when they take a little slide, they put the sunscreen on it, like roughly 2 grams in a little square, and then they go ahead and subject it to UV radiation and see how it reacts. In vivo is basically when they test it on actual humans, and it is considered way more accurate. So this has both. This has been tested both in vivo, in vitro. So it has 2 certifications. They say this has no hormone disruptors, of course, because old gen chemical filters are feared to be possible endocrine disruptors, and these are all new generation chemical filters, so there's no possible endocrine disruption. Next, this is interesting. It says it's acne safe, it's non-comedogenic, and it has, what is the word? I saw it. AC0, which is basically Korean anti-acne technology. Okay, it suits active acne and acne-prone skin. It's anti-inflammatory and it is non-comedogenic. So we're going to be talking about that as well. They say that this is for all skin tones, so of course we'll be testing that as well. And they say this is super lightweight. And of course, if you don't know already, I review only cruelty-free brands. This is both cruelty-free and it is also fragrance-free. So this is currently priced at 499 rupees for 50 grams of product. That comes up to about 9.98 rupees per gram, which is 10 rupees a gram. You need at least a gram of sunscreen per application to give you optimal protection from the sun. So you will be spending rupees 10 per application. Now, BEBODYWISE hardly ever, never actually, I've never seen it do a 1+1 sale. However, I have attached all the links below in the description wherever it's available: Amazon, Flipkart, Nykaa, Myntra, website. So whatever you feel is convenient for you, you can have a look at it there. Now, 2 things can happen when the ingredient list is really long. Number 1, there's really no harm provided the ingredients are soothing, nice, anti-inflammatory, and they all have a purpose. The only possible negative side is if you are allergic to something in ingredients, then that can be a problem when it comes to long ingredient lists. I see that especially with hyphen products. So yeah, but otherwise the ingredients in here, I don't think they're problematic, but we'll come to that. Also, I just had a huge cup of black coffee and I know I'm speaking really fast. If you feel like I am, then go ahead and slow me down in the playback speed. So our UV filters here, which are the ingredients that protect you from the harmful effects of the sun, are quite high up in the ingredient list. This is actually quite a good thing if formulated correctly. So shortly after water, we're seeing our first UV filter, which is diethylamino hydroxybenzoyl hexyl benzoate, which is nothing but Juvenal A+. It is a highly photostable UVA filter. So right after that, we're seeing our very next UV filter, which is ethyl hexyl triazone, which is nothing but Juvenal T150, which is a very powerful UVB filter. It is highly photostable. So right after that is our next UV filter, which is bis-ethyl-hexyloxyphenol methoxyphenyl triazine, which is nothing but Dinazorb S, which is a highly photostable UVA and UVB filter. So this has basically 3 UV filters. We've discussed all of that, and all of the next ones are what constitute the anti-acne technology and stuff like that. So let's go into those. Okay, Centella asiatica, also known as Gotu Kola. You see this in a lot of skincare these days, and it is beautiful for actually soothing irritated, inflamed skin. And then we're seeing niacinamide. I'm sorry for the people who are allergic to niacinamide. I really am. I mean, it's becoming increasingly difficult to find skincare which does not have niacinamide in it. So basically, Salix alba, which is willow bark extract, is a natural salicylic acid. Okay, it has anti-acne properties. It is also a natural, very powerful alternative to salicylic acid. It's also less irritating. And then there's licorice root extract, which is anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and more importantly, I mean, if you're somebody looking for brightening, licorice extract tends to do a beautiful job when it comes to brightening your skin. So then we're seeing some emollients and stuff, and we also see 3 kinds of ceramides over here. We have ceramide AP, NP, EOP. So these are 3 kinds of ceramides in your sunscreen. We're also seeing allantoin, again, beautiful anti-inflammatory ingredient, just like Centella asiatica. It's another ingredient which is very nice to calm and soothe your skin. Bergamot leaf extract. Now I know that the oil, bergamot leaf oil, can be irritating to skin. So bergamot leaf extract is anti-inflammatory. It is very good with acne. Okay, we're also seeing a little bit of sodium hyaluronate, which is hyaluronic acid basically. Okay, helps to hold on moisture into the skin. And bakuchiol, this is what I want to talk about. So I am going to make a video eventually on retinoid alternatives for people who have sensitive skin and cannot tolerate retinoids, and bakuchiol is an excellent retinoid alternative. It can also be used during the daytime. So I have been looking for products which have bakuchiol in them. I found Orini's bakuchiol serum. I have that with me. So the only ingredient over here, which I am not the biggest fan of, is menthol lactate, which is basically something used to kind of give you that cooling effect on the skin. It is way more gentle than actual menthol. It doesn't irritate the skin the same way. In my opinion, in my honest, humble opinion, this ingredient was not really necessary in the ingredient list. But yeah, because I didn't feel like this sunscreen really cooled my skin when I put it on or anything. It was normal. It was just a normal sunscreen. It didn't give much of a cooling effect. But anyway, this ingredient is there. And yeah, it still, however, didn't really upset my skin or anything. We'll come to that.
So at 11:26, I immersed a little bit into water. The good thing is that it did not break apart and it stayed in place. An hour later, it was still in place until I started tapping the cup. That's when it very slowly started to break apart. I would give this a water resistance of up to 60 minutes and not 80. Definitely reapply this for maximum protection.
So getting into the consistency of this product. Okay. The consistency of this is even more lightweight than Sugandha, somewhere similar. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this to half of my face. Let me take some more. So I do have dry skin, so I tend to layer a lot of moisturizer on. But despite that, you can see how, if not in 3 seconds, in literally 5 or 6 seconds, you can see that it just sank into my skin. So clearly there is absolutely no white cast. I'm going to go in with the second side of my face. So yeah, this is immediately upon application. It literally feels like there is nothing on my skin at all. Okay, it sank in super fast. So I'm just gonna go flat out and go into my experience with this one. Okay, is this lightweight? It's incredibly lightweight. It is beautifully formulated. As for how quickly it blends in, if not a few more seconds, it's into your skin. Now, as for the finish of this product, this is a very skin-like finish. Okay, it is definitely not a matte finish. It is skin-like in my opinion. So if you layer a lot of moisturizer, it's gonna give you a nice dewy look. I do believe that if you have somebody with oily skin, you can use this directly. This can be your 2-in-1 because it has a lot of nice emollients in there. It has ceramides in there. It has everything which kind of supports your barrier. I definitely believe that normal and combination skin people are going to really like this product. As for irritation, so when I was trying out this product, okay, when I read all the claims, when I felt it on my skin, when I read the ingredients, I was like, there has to be something wrong with this product. Okay, it's either going to pill or it's going to cause comedones, and generally for me particularly, within 4 to 5 days I can start feeling comedones come in with any product in general. Okay, and with this one I faced absolutely no irritation. I used this even after a chemical peel. I did not have any sort of irritation. Of course, always patch test your products before you put them on your face. Put a little bit over here, give it 24 hours, even 48 hours to check for any redness, irritation, and then go ahead and put it on your face. That's I don't know, I should practice what I preach. I never patch test, and that's actually a very dangerous thing. And even more surprising is this product does not pill at all. And I am the biggest victim of I can't even say I'm a victim, okay? I do this to myself because I'm so excited with layering products that I go in layering multiple products and it tends to pill on my skin. However, this one absolutely did not pill. So does that mean that there are 0 cons with this? No, there are a few cons with this, and I'm gonna come to that. So when you apply this sunscreen, you definitely want to avoid the eye area, okay? If this gets close to your eyes are gonna slightly water throughout the day. Okay, so one other tiny problem with this is the moment you put it on, you're gonna sweat a little bit. It's not problematic at all, goes away very quickly, and I will totally deal with that with the other pros that I felt I had with this sunscreen. So of course, I'm gonna go ahead and reapply this for you immediately. I don't feel like the sunscreen made me look any darker. I don't feel like it oxidized or anything. Towards the evening, it didn't make me feel like it was any greasier. So if you've used this sunscreen and you have any thoughts on it, whether you disagree or agree with anything I said, please let the others know along with your skin type and your climate, because I genuinely want other people to learn from your experiences as well, and not just with what I say. Skin, because yours can be oily or some whole different skin type in a whole different climate. And if that is the case, then you are a better person to guide the other people in the comments, because you will have a different experience with this one. So yeah, if you found this video helpful, please hit that like, share and subscribe button. You can also follow me on Instagram and until we meet next time, lots and lots of love.